Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another Gran Turismo time trial tutorial where I'm going to show you some tips and tricks to allow you to get a whole 2 million credits for getting the gold lap time target on this week's time trial, which is coming to you from Watkins, Glen, from the short version of this course. And this is going to be one of the easier time trials in my opinion, but stick around if you're struggling, if you're on a silver and you want to get that gold. I'm going to give you some advice that will help you get those extra couple of tenths of a second, up to a second, depending on what you need, to try and get that gold lap time. So the car, as you may know, is the Alfa Romeo DTM car from the 90s. Very fun car to drive. It's very stable, very predictable car, and I think it's quite easy to extract lap time out of this car. The only thing I'd say is it's a little bit underpowered. We have got balance of performance on, and it's been detuned to 330 horsepower. So it is a little bit slow coming down the straights, but at least that gives you plenty of time to plan how you're going to take the corners. Obviously, ignore the skin that I've got on the car as well. The skin's just a bit of a joke. It's not really damaged, just in case anyone really thinks that this has an influence. It doesn't. It's just a silly skin. So I'm just going to switch over to the camera that I use to do this lap. And we're going to back up just to the beginning of the previous lap, because how you start this lap is going to be a little bit important. I will explain the final corner as we come through to the end of the lap. Just as we drive to the line, please make sure that you've got the driver assists off, particularly the traction control. I would put the ABS on weak. And I would also recommend having manual gears because it really helps control the car. As we come down to the first corner, keep your eyes to the left and just notice how far to the left I've got the car as well. I've got the car really, really onto this white line. It's good discipline. I see plenty of drivers leaving like half a car width to the outside of the track. Don't be one of those drivers. Just make sure that your car is parallel and as close to the left as possible. And then your braking markers for turn one, nice and easy. You've got where the tarmac changes colour. You've got this dark patch right in front of the 200 metre board. You can use either the 200 metre board or the dark patch on the tarmac as your braking point. I would recommend braking ever so slightly before the 200 if you want to be guaranteed a good corner exit. If you brake slightly after the 200, then you can get very good lap times and it can make a difference, but you need to be really precise with how you attack the corner, how you get the car turned in. So there's a risky way and a safe way. I would recommend, if you're not going for a world record, to do the safe way. This is the difference between us and the alien drivers. The alien drivers can probably brake at the 200, and I would recommend just braking just where this dark patch is slightly before. Brake in a straight line, and then start bringing the car across in line with the grooves on the road. So you can use the grooves on the road here to sort of judge where you turn in. And a common mistake I see on this track that a lot of newbies make is to try and drive all the way across this inside curb, or to just not use any of the inside curb at all. Actually, the right amount of curb to use is to get two wheels onto it. If you try and use the entire width of the inside curb, you'll find that you've made the corner just slightly tighter than it needs to be, and you won't be able to maximize the full amount of power and grip on the way out. So what you actually want to do is follow the lines on the road. So you see here, I'm following these lines, and then I'm dipping two wheels onto there. I've kind of got all four wheels on right at the end, but I entered it with two wheels and then just got the full car across afterwards. And notice that I've bled off the brakes. You might just have to replay this last section just a couple of seconds ago. But notice how I bled off the brakes very gently, and then I coasted, and then I'm gradually accelerating, and then I'm applying full power just before the end of the rumble strip. Because like where you apply full power, you need to apply full power in a way that you're going to run the car out wide to the outer curb without running off the outer curb. So you don't want to run out of track on the outside of the track, otherwise you'll get a track limits violation. So you need to just practice and get the hang of how early you can get on the accelerator here, because how early you get on the accelerator here gives you your lap time all the way up to the end of Sector 1. There are no more braking points after this first corner in Sector 1. So your Sector 1 lap time basically just comes down to how well did I take this one corner. So, you know, I'm saying a lot of words here, but the other thing just to point out here is look at the angle of look at the camber of the track, the elevation of the track. The track is actually pointing uphill from our perspective here as you move towards the exit of the track. This is going to push the car more inwards than you think. And this is going to allow us to get on that power just a bit earlier. And this is also why I was saying don't cut all the way across this curb, because if you use all of this inside here and really run your car across the inside, you're not going to take advantage of that camber. And that camber is going to help you get on that power earlier. So you can see here that the car lazily runs wide, but I'm just about holding on to the track limits. It's nice and easy now. We'll get through this part of the video quickly. Just keep to the inside, full throttle, and keep to the inside as well. Should probably change gears just slightly before the red line. Maybe sort of 90% revs. It does make a small difference. And now, just to point out, the 30.8 here is a really good reference. If you're trying to get the gold, then this is a really good start to the lap. To put it this way, this is on par with the top 25 in the world. The top 25 were doing 30.80s. So the fact that we're on a 841, this is a damn fast first sector, okay? And you can then carry that time benefit throughout the lap. It puts less pressure on you to get the rest of the lap right. Okay, so anyway, you want to now be focusing on the 300-meter board on the left. It's going to come at you very fast because you're doing 143 miles an hour at this stage. So it's going to just really flash by you, and you need to brake and turn simultaneously. You're going to blip the brakes down into fourth gear and get the car across this inside curb, which at this stage is a very small target to aim for. You can only just see it poking out over there. So that's going to require a bit of skill to try and get the car as close to that curb as you can. Don't be afraid to be aggressive. Literally just torpedo the car at that curb. You'll have plenty of grip on turn in, and you want to try to get it so that as you exit that curb, you're not getting too far to the curb on the next part of the chicane. You'll see what I mean in a second. So I'm just going to freeze frame here and just show you how close we get to this barrier. And you can see how sharp we're cutting across here, yeah? I mean, look, I'm literally steering at the barrier at this stage. Yeah, and just don't be scared. You can hit it, and I would recommend hitting it a few times just to learn where the limit is, because this is a game. It's not real life. You're not going to die. Right? Look where the car is, and now I'm able to easily just get the car over and just take a nibble out of this inside. Really, I probably shouldn't have taken a nibble out of this inside because I am just making the next part tighter. I do want to just go back and replay this corner because there's something else you've got to take care of here. And that is, you've got secondary braking after the first braking. So watch the brakes, braking, off, and then you see there, I was just ever so slightly braking again just to keep the car stable. Right? If you don't brake that second time, you are going to go off into the barrier over here somewhere. So just as you cross that second apex, just a second blip of the brakes and pull the car to the left. Now, you can straight line this next section. Notice I'm not really trying to use all of the curb on the inside. The answer is because I can't. I'm literally like on full steering here, but the car is going that fast that it won't steer over to this part of the track. Not a problem, because we're going to use the full width of the exit curb here. Don't worry, you won't get track limits for this. And now Nice, fun corner, this one. I think this one's really nice and flowing, and the car really gives you lots of feedback. All right, for this next fast corner, you want to just blip the brakes as you go past the start of the curb here. You see this little wedge of yellow? As you pass that, just blip the brakes, just so that you can feel the car settle and get into the corner. So you may have to go down into third gear, just to get a bit more front end on the car, and this is why I recommend manual gears, because that's going to grip up the front end and get you further into the corner. And you need to try and keep the car on the dark part of the tarmac down here. Can't stress this enough. If you are to the left of that dark part of tarmac, you're going to have very little grip, and you'll hear the tires screeching, and it's really going to hurt your exit. You want to keep the car on this inside line and just play with the throttle as you go round. You want to then get back on full throttle somewhere before this I Love New York marshal post. So just say to yourself, just remind yourself, I love New York, I love New York. As you come round, as you see that, and you remember how much you love New York, that's when you get on full throttle. And then don't be afraid to let the car naturally understeer out to the curb. You can actually get both wheels onto that curb if you're really, really pushing. Final two corners. So nice, easy braking zone. I'm about to mess this one up slightly and lose a tenth. So you want to be braking just before the 200 board. Again, if you're a bit of an alien, you can brake at the 200 board, but it's risky. So if you want to just be smooth and get a good baseline lap time, brake just before the 200, in a straight line, go down one gear and flick the car in. So flick, and you see, this is where I lost a tenth, is that I didn't get the car on the apex. So you see here now, I'm basically pointing, I'm pointing this way, right? When the exit of the corner is actually here, not here. Yeah, you see the difference? So this is going to cost me a tenth. My optimum time was a 1:14.8. So this is where I lost the time. But still, watch this and you'll still get a decent exit here. So you're just running the car to the exit. And then you want to get the car over as far to the left as soon as you can. Do not be lazy and let the car turn in from the middle of the track. You want to be all the way over to the left before you brake for this corner. You just about have time to get the car over there. And braking is very simple. You see there was that billboard just here where I'm wiggling the camera. That's basically your braking point. Just brake at that billboard. And it's a gentle tap down one gear. Let the car run across and coast across to the inside. So you see I'm on neither the brake nor the accelerator here. And I'm just easing the car on and just slowly getting on the accelerator, and then on full power as soon as I'm sure that the car's going to get around. And that's all it takes. You can see a 1:15.0, which is well within the time needed to get a gold. Just going to play it one more time, and then just for fun I'm going to show you an outtake as well. So we'll go to the chase cam this time. Some people like that view, and I'm just going to talk you through the lap. I've talked a lot on this video. Be sure to like and subscribe. I'm going to try and do some proper edited videos. This one's done live. So you're braking at the dark patch there, sweep the car across matching the tarmac. This is really important to get on the power as soon as you can, because that's where the lap time's going to come. And then trust that the car is going to grip up due to the camber. Just follow the insides down here. Follow the inside again. And now just settle yourself and focus, like laser focus, on where that billboard is. So that billboard is there. Sorry, a billboard, braking board, 300-meter board. And then this corner is just a case of balancing the throttle until you see that I Love New York, and then you can on the full power. Run the car out. You're about to see me miss the apex. And you can see why. I turned in too late. That was my error there, is that I just turned in too late. braking where this billboard is, and then on the power nice and early. Again, you've got to get on that power nice and early, otherwise the power of this car will hurt you. I'm going to continue on, so watch me do my second lap here. I don't usually do 2 laps in these replays, but you can see I'm very consistent. At this stage, I was basically matching the same pace that I had on the previous lap. But you're about to see something that I recommend doing, a mistake that I recommend. Right? I said earlier, don't be afraid to mess up the chicane and hit the barrier. Well, this is exactly what I do here. I went absolutely aiming for it, and I misjudged it by about 5 meters, like a car length. And the response is that you would die in real life. But this is a game, you won't die. You can just press reset and do another lap. So I highly recommend just throwing the car at that until you get the knack of it, and just practice it and don't be afraid to hit it, because eventually you'll get the knack and you'll make it round every time. So there you go. That's this week's video. I might do an edited version. I might do some like side-by-side analysis of lines and things like that, like I have in some previous videos. If you want me to do things like that, I really need you to subscribe, because my subscriber count is still pretty low, and I put more effort into these videos if more people are going to watch them. I hope this helped, and I will see you in the next time trial in a week's time. Thank you, and good night.